It's a very special pleasure and unexpected pleasure for me to be here. I'm in Fiji for a different occasion. We are having a very interestingly a meeting of all Pacific and Asian Pacific countries here in Nadi, kindly hosted by Fiji, to review the implementation of the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. This convention is the first convention in the public health history. So in other fields, environment, labor, human rights, there are many conventions, but in public health there is no other. This is the first and only one. That's why we are very proud to have the first Western Pacific meeting to review the implementation of this relatively young treaty here in Fiji. And then 25 countries are now, while we speak here, they are sitting in other places and reviewing how the convention is being implemented and how it can be further promoted in the entire Western Pacific region. And then I was told yesterday that there will be this nice occasion also, to speak at declaring Nadi Town as a tobacco-free. Let me underline how important this initiative is. I mean, don't think that this is only local importance. I mean, you may think and be very proud of that, and that is enough. If you protect your people from tobacco, that's already enough to be proud. But let me say that it goes beyond that. Why? Because it's true that the smoke-free policies is one of the important aspects of the Framework Convention. Framework Convention also has other aspects, how to fight tobacco, raising taxes, making big health warnings, banning advertising, helping the people who already smoke to quit, and making advertising campaigns, communication campaigns, and helping farmers to switch from tobacco to other crops, etc., etc. And this part of smoke policies, until recently, had been limited and to indoor places. If the countries could totally ban smoking in all public places, including in restaurants and bars and nightclubs, that is already a big achievement. And not many countries really achieved that fully to ban the smoking in all public places. Mostly you see that banned in let's say, in government buildings, in schools and universities, etc. But it's not that easy to achieve for example, in the hospitality sector, in the hotels, in the restaurants, in the bars. And some countries achieve that, but not many. But this new movement is starting now to extend the regulation of the smoke-free policies from indoor places, which is very natural, and to outdoor, to go also outside of the buildings and start to think whether the smoking should also be banned in other public places, which should not are indoor. And your initiative very well fits this new movement. That new movement started very recently. So you should understand and possibly be proud that your initiative is fitting in a very interesting new international trend. And you are one of the very first possibly examples, at least in the Pacific region to do so. Because that is not only protecting people from smoke, but it's also about denormalizing tobacco and smoking. See, I mean, more and more you speak about you cannot smoke here or there, more you denormalize the behavior. We should not be denormalized. It should be denormalized because this is an unnecessary behavior and unnecessary product. It's a paradox in the human history. Possibly this is the only legal consumer product which kills when consumed as it is prescribed to be consumed, by the way. Not misconsumed, but if you even consume as it should be consumed, it kills. So it's really a paradox. And I think that in 2-3 generations, President, as you also rightly said, the future is tobacco-free. I think our children, our grandchildren will be, reading with amazement how our generation still allowed, people, to use this killer and then to allow the killer to be sold legally. And most probably the future of the human civilization is tobacco-free. But those tobacco-free initiatives, the small initiatives which start from cities, etc., exactly will build up towards that bigger picture. That's why I would like to really congratulate very warmly the City Council for this very, very timely and very important initiative, very brave initiative, I can say, because there are not many examples around. I would like to congratulate you also having so strong political support for such initiatives. The President himself came to to address this important event in Nadi, which means that how this is perceived at the political circles also very well. Minister of Health is with us, Dr. Sharma, which means that this is not just a, let's say, local small initiative. There is a political backing for that. There is a movement for that. There is a general and large understanding of the necessity of that. And so you please also think that Mr. Mayor, that whatever is starting from Nadi today will go and have resonance in the international community. My promise is that when I go back to Geneva, I came from Geneva, that's where the headquarters of the convention is. The first thing I will ask my staff to place an announcement on the website about this small event in a small town, but with a very important, very important international significance. And let me also hope and wish that tobacco-free Nadi initiative will result in tobacco-free Fiji in future, and why not in tobacco-free Pacific. Those initiatives will accumulate and bring to, I think, a bright future for us, healthy future for us. And that goal of tobacco-free Pacific by 2025, if you have more cities and more mayors of this thinking, I think that's a reality. And it will really become the reality quite soon. So again, congratulations. I'm very happy to be part of this ceremony with you, with the President, with the Minister, and with the distinguished guests. Thank you very much.